Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicki, otherwise known as Heartland Knits, and this is a vlog all about knitting and spinning and sewing and roses. If that sounds like something that you're interested in and you're not already a subscriber, please do go on over and subscribe, and that would be lovely. Thank you. Today I have a sewing video for you all about my November plans, but before we get started with that, let me show you what I'm wearing. This is the Pauline Alice Aldea dress, not sure of the pronunciation. The fabric is what was called a summer scuba. It came from Joann's. I sewed this in March 2020. It didn't go anywhere after that. I think I wore it once last winter, I think when I went to get my hair cut, because it went with the shoes. And I took it out today. It's very fun and swirly to wear, and there are lots of different options in the pattern. I do have plans in the near-ish future to make another one, so I can talk more about it then, because I have a ton to get through today. Lots of plans for November. So the first pattern is a pattern that's new to me. It's the Plateau Joggers by Classic Core. I'm super excited to get started on this because it looks so interesting, and I had such a good experience sewing the Mile End sweatshirt that those two patterns kind of came out at the same time, and I didn't even look at the jogger pattern. Maybe it was the time of year that they came out last spring, but I went back. Classic Core had a sale a couple weeks ago for during Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, and I took a look at that one, and there are some really interesting construction techniques. It has what's called a wraparound pocket, so the side seams don't really start till kind of the hip and then go down. So it just looks really interesting. I am going to make those, and let me preface this by saying I know I did a plans video in September, and I haven't shown you those things yet, and I will, but this was coming out the beginning of November. I felt like I needed to get the plans video for November out early. So anyway, you will notice that I am using this fabric, which is the Ralph Lauren sweatshirting in navy that I had plans in September to make a Mile End sweatshirt out of. That didn't happen, so I'm going to use this fabric for the joggers. I could get more because they still have it on the website, or I could use the red. That I have some red. Also, I just felt like this, I could picture them in this more than I could in the red, or I could picture me wearing them in this. I picture myself going out on those cold, like scary cold days where you have to like make sure that your car starts and like drive it around to warm it up. I picture myself wearing these. So yeah, so I think this will probably be the first thing that I sew up, just because I'm so curious about the construction of those joggers. So the second thing is also a new pattern to me. It's also a new thing that I have never ever sewn before. It is the Libra Bodysuit by French Poetry. Back in August, when the Great British Sewing Bee happened, I watched a class by Madeline about bodysuits, and she has some very pretty designs, but when I saw the French Poetry one with the big keyhole in the back, I just knew that was the one I had to try. I just love that keyhole. It says that it's will accommodate wearing a regular bra with it, so that's good. And at some point I want to make a black one, but because I've never sewn a bodysuit or tried to fit, I've never like even sewn like a swimsuit or anything like that. So I got this gorgeous, it's so beautiful, this color, crushed velvet from this kind of raspberry color from Emerald Erin. yeah, so this is going to be my toiling fabric, because if it turns out, I will totally love it in this color. Um, but eventually, what my main idea in my head is, for practicality, I really want to do a black one. Um, so anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try it in this. It's got a four-way stretch. The one direction isn't as much as the other, but anyway, that is number 2. So my third thing is something I talked about in my Make 9 update video last week. And that is, I want to do some little undies. I want to do the Veras, but before I try those, what I plan on doing is kind of taking apart, so I can trace the pattern, one of my pair of Victoria's Secret style that I've worn for years and years, that I know I really love, and I love the fit of them. So I'm going to take the pattern off of those, and I want to sort of practice. And I have 2 kind of fabrics. This one is a bamboo fabric. This comes from Emerald Erin. And then I have this one that I got from the Tailor Made shop, which is an organic cotton. So my aim, I'm going to sew these early in the month, because the reason why I had to order from Emerald Erin again is she came up with these 2 sort of new elastics, and I've kind of been collecting elastics for panties from a couple shops, and so I wanted to get some of hers to try out, just because I know I like the quality of what she sells. And I know she usually has, and I think Tailor Made Shop also has a Black Friday sale. So I want to get a couple of these sewn up, so that I can wear them and wash them a few times, and sort of try all the different elastics and kind of see which ones I like, which ones hold up the best, which ones feel are most comfortable. And yeah, so I have that, and then I am going to do the Veras. I haven't picked out exactly what I'm going to use for those, but they are definitely going to be sewn. So the next thing is also something I talked about in the video from last week, and that was that I had just gotten the Carolyn pajama pattern, and I was going to probably substitute that pattern for the pajama pattern. Originally, I talked about I wanted to do them out of like this white satin. This is just a swatch because I haven't bought the fabric yet. Like this, pretty silk satin with black piping. I think that will be really, really pretty. But then I also came across this, and I'm torn, so I need your advice. I would love to hear, so be ready to comment. I bought this fabric 3 years ago, I think. It's in 2 sections, but it's this really pretty flannel. I just really love it. I have 2 amounts, because I had to go to 2 different Joanns to get the amount that I needed. Originally, I bought this to make pajamas with, and then I didn't get it done that first year, and then I started thinking, well, maybe I wanted to do a dressing gown in this, just because it's so pretty. But now when I'm thinking about doing the Carolyn pajamas, I can really picture sort of, there are just a little more details in that pattern as opposed to I think it was the Simplicity, or was it a Simplicity or McCall's pattern that I already have. So anyway, now I'm torn between, do I want to do pajamas in this, or do I want to do a dressing gown in this? I'm sort of torn. I still do want to do the satin ones, but if I do them in this, that's not saying I can't have 2 pairs, right? But what do you think? What would you do? It's so pretty. So that is, I really, really want to get this used up. So if I don't make it into the pajamas, I am going to make it into a dressing gown or robe. But I'm sure I have enough for either one of these. I think I have 6 or 7 yards of this, so I'm sure I have enough. The other thing, so I don't have this fabric yet, but the other thing that I really, really want and need to make is a slip. So all like last summer during the Great British Sewing Bee, I kept saying I want to do, and I really want this. So my ideal is I want to do a slip that is actually like the bra attached, so that you don't have to wear a bra and then the slip over the top of that, so that everything is all attached and then the slip. But I've never sewn anything cut completely on the bias like slips usually are. So I'm thinking, I did get this pattern when there was a sale on Joann's once, and it's a Vogue V8888, and I'm thinking of like just doing a little slip like this and getting this, they have it in like a regular silk satin, or they have like stretch. It doesn't stretch all that much, but it has a little bit, just because then I would get the experience of sewing something on the bias. I know that it can be tricky, and yeah, so I'm thinking I might do that. I'm hoping to get this fabric that they have a Black Friday sale. They don't, when they have sales, they don't usually put the silk on sale, but I know I have gotten it on sale, so I'm thinking maybe it was the Black Friday sale. So anyway, I'm thinking of throwing that in. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm getting quite a lot of things here, and I haven't even put in fabric to sew a bra, but I do have some that I really want to use. This also came newly from Emerald Erin, and one of my goals is to have bras in all the colors of bra tulle that I can possibly collect. And I've been collecting them, but I haven't been sewing them. So I think I need to at least sew one bra tulle bra every month until I've got all the colors of the rainbow. And so the one that I have chosen for this month is this. Hopefully it will show. It's this sort of chartreuse sort of color. So yeah, so you can sort of see it's that sort of chartreusey color. So bra tulle is like tulle that you might have had for your wedding veil, or you've used for craft projects, except it's much, 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 much finer and softer. It has stretch in one direction. So if you have two layers and you put one going this way and the stretch of one going the other way, you get a stable fabric. And they're really comfortable to wear. It's my favorite, really, kind of for like an everyday sort of bra. So yeah, I want to do one in this color. And I know what you're saying, Vicki, that is not your usual color at all. And you're right, it's not. But it totally matches the fabric that I've just got that I want to make a dress from. And so let me show it to you. It's so pretty. So this is from Mood Fabrics, and it is called, and I don't, hope you can see the texture in that. It's got a crinkled effect in it. And this is the color called Woodbine, which is not my normal color, but I am just in love with it. So it is a stretch velvet. And yeah, so it has this really cool, like crinkled texture in it. I can show you what the back looks like. So the plan for this is to make a Joanie dress, which is this like really pretty one with this sort of crossover, with this sort of crossover in the front. I've made several from this pattern, and I love how they fit, and they're so fun to wear. They've got the big full flippity skirt, so I think this will be really fun in that. I don't really need another dress, but one thing to know about this is the crinkles run from selvage to selvage. So you do need to keep that in mind for, maybe patterns that you're going to use, or how much yardage that you need, because also it's velvet, so you have to, deal with nap and stuff too. But yeah, I totally love this, and I know this dress goes together pretty fast, so I'm really going to try to get it finished for in November. But yeah, so quite a few plans. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do check back with me. I will not be modeling some of the things, but I will show them to you. And until I see you next time, from my heart to yours, happy sewing.